Hi everyone, Edna Kimble, Edna Sells, Century 21 Wright Real Estate, and thank you for joining us today on our podcast, How to Real Estate. If you are a newer agent and you are looking for answers on how to communicate, I get the calls a lot where people say, well, I started a conversation and I couldn't get it to go anywhere. I couldn't get it to flow. So today we're going to talk about how to have better conversations with your clients so that you can help them solve their problems. Because at the end of the day, we are problem solvers. And if you can't get the client to open up and tell you what their needs are, it's going to be really hard for you to solve their problem. So let's jump in. Number one, don't ask a specific question, ask an open-ended question. Rather than asking, how was your weekend? Because that makes it too easy for them. They just say it was fine. Instead, ask, what did you do this weekend that was enjoyable? Or tell me what you enjoyed the most about your weekend. So that way it's not just a question, it's more of like a demand, but a friendly demand. It's assertive and it shows that you're bold. It also shows that you're genuinely interested in their answer and that you're asking out of it, not asking out of an obligation, or just making conversation to be polite while you're around them, that you truly want to know the specifics. You know, we've all been in that situation where someone says, how are you? And you say fine and you're not fine. Okay, also what you want to do is repeat back. This is a great tip to use during those first client meetings when you're learning about their budgets, their wants, their needs, the real specifics. During a conversation, repeat back what they said to you in your own words to make sure that you have a clear understanding of what they're saying. This ensures that everyone's on the same page. Your clients will be sure to appreciate how dedicated you are and that the fact that you're understanding them. And it also gives them an opening to say, no, that's not exactly right. Now, as I had mentioned, ask open-ended questions. Avoid questions that lead to awkward silences or dead answers. Now, all day, every day, we are meeting strangers, so this is a really important one. An example is, let's say you just learned that a client loves to ride their bike. Instead of asking, where's your favorite area to ride? Or how long have you been riding? You could actually say, what do you love most about biking? Or tell me about your best biking story. Questions like these will lead to deeper and more meaningful conversations rather than that awkward silence of 2 years in the park. We've all been there. Now, don't offer possible answers when you're doing this. When asking a question, especially in the very beginning, don't ramble on nervously with possible answers. So, what are you looking for in a home? Something like a quiet neighborhood, somewhere more in the suburbs area, more traditional, more modern? Don't do that. It confuses the client. By doing this, you might unintentionally be setting expectations for how they should answer. So try ending the question at the first question mark. Don't give them time to think on it so that they can truly tell you what their wants or needs or desires are. Let them speak in their own words. You can always follow up with more specific questions to get the information that you need. But leading the client is not a great way to get the true answers. Now, mirror their behavior. I know this is like an old classic tactic for developing rapport, but it's old and it's classic because it kind of works. So start by observing your client's energy level. I like to say, read the room. Are they calm or are they energetic? Tone of voice, are they speaking softly or are they more forceful? Posture, are they leaning back and completely closed off, or are they open and very, very animated? Then match his or her behavior. You're not being disingenuous, you're really making them more comfortable. According to body language experts, when you mirror the body language in a business setting or any setting for that matter, the other person will know that they have developed a mutual rapport with you. You can also use a quid pro quo approach. Now, this just simply means that if a client gives you information about something, try and return a little information back to them to keep the conversation going. This also helps them feel more comfortable. Remember, your job is to be a good communicator and to help them be comfortable. They don't have a job in this situation. Now, let them know it will be brief. People are more willing to speak with you if they know they won't be trapped for a long conversation. Realtors can sometimes be wordy, I included, I like to talk. For example, if you need a client, for example, if you need to call a client, let them know up front that you're not going to hold them hostage on the phone for the next 30 minutes. You can say something really quick like, hey, I'm in between meetings and I wanted to reach out to you before the next one starts, and I just needed to know, blah, blah, blah. Now, this lets them know that it should be a fairly snappy conversation, and this helps you also in case they are the talker and you really are on a timeline. Read their emotions. Don't just listen to what they say. Leverage the emotional intelligence and be attentive to body language, facial expressions, and the mood. If something seems off or just not quite right, then inquire about it. Ask, is everything okay? They'll appreciate the kindness behind the question, and it will take that agent client relationship to a deeper level, and they'll understand that you really are present with them in the moment. This lets them know that you actually care more than the average um, agent or realtor, and that you're trying to actually get to know them. Now, I've been doing real estate for 20 years, a little over, and honestly, all of my clients that I have connected with have become more like friends or family. And guys, that is how I prefer it. Those clients, friends, continue to utilize me and work with me, and then I have become more of a mentor to them in certain situations. So if you plan on doing this for the long haul, make sure to take the time to get to know the client so that they can possibly become a friend in the future. Because working with friends and family, guys, way more enjoyable, way more comfortable than meeting strangers all day, every day. Now, some of us feel like we've never met a stranger, and part of that is because we really do take the time to try to meet and get to know the client. So if you are having trouble communicating or getting more out of your potential client, then maybe take some of these suggestions and see if they work for you. So as always, if you have any specific topics you would like for us to cover, please reach out. I'd be happy to help. And thank you for watching another episode of How to Real Estate. Thanks, everyone.